New Year. Woohoo! Happy 2020. Happy new decade. First coffee of the year. And it's an almond latte. I've been drinking almond milk. How is everyone doing? I'm surprised there are folks here. Why aren't you all out celebrating New Year's Eve? Just looking through the chat, sorry. Hey, Embedded Hobbyist. Hello, Azzy. Hey, Paul. Good morning, Ian. You're up early. Hey, James. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Rob. I didn't think you were going to be here, mate. Oh, unexpected makers here. Hey, Johnny. And another James. Bornak. How do I pronounce your name? I always get that wrong. I know I get it wrong. They can't possibly be that. Anyway, Teletronics, hello. Hello, Graham. Hey, Helmet. Hey, Andy Day. Hey, Jovan. However you pronounce it, I apologise. Rutter Fruchtzwerg. Hello. Why aren't you all out celebrating? It's New Year's Eve for you all. Or not all of you. A few of us here in the future. Amateur drunks are out. How funny. I hope you're having all... Try again. I hope you're all having a good time. No audio? Who's got no audio? Is your browser in mute? I definitely have audio coming through. Can everyone hear audio? Okay, good. Some people have sound. 2.5 hours to 2020. Johnny, why aren't you out celebrating? Or you've already done your celebrating. Hey, Jonathan in London. Okay. So maybe James Hauser has to restart his browser. Oh, it's good now. Okay, good. Got the camera on a slightly different angle now. It's a bit higher. I'm not sure I like it too much. Hey, Michael. Yes, the fires are shocking. Bastard Jack. Hello. An interesting name. Hello to the UK. I wanted to go out with a friend of mine, but she didn't want anyone staying over, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to get back from hers because of trains. Oh, yeah, trains on... We have free transport on New Year's Eve in Australia, which is really nice of our government. But other than that, yeah, transport on New Year's Eve is terrible. Hey, Adam. Azzy, they're not your unexpected friends. They're your absolutely expected friends. Yeah, the bushfires are terrible. Obviously, we've got bushfires now in Victoria, as well as New South Wales. We had a few more deaths, unfortunately, or another death and some injuries. Some volunteer firefighters in New South Wales. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Their water tanker overturned. They couldn't see where they were going because of the smoke, and the water tanker flipped and someone died, unfortunately. It's pretty shocking. On what day is it today now? Wednesday. So on Monday it was 43 degrees here, and it was also extremely windy, like super hot wind, and like we could smell the fires in our backyard. Like the whole place smelled like bushfire. It was obviously nowhere near the level that it would have been at the fires. So yeah, it's pretty full on. Yes, Adam's in the past, watching the future. I feel quite honoured to have so many people here. It says 44 concurrent users. That's pretty cool. Did not expect that at all. I wish you were all... Is your New Year's resolution for this stream 1080p? Haha. That's quite funny, actually. It should be 1080p, yes. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I'm not liking this camera angle. Hold on 1 second. Maybe this will be better. It was just a bit high. That's a bit better. I really need to do something better with my camera setup. It's on my list of things to never get to for this year. Hey, Electronic Smoke UK. Yeah, I don't do New Year's resolutions because I think we say stuff to ourselves to make us feel better. Hey, Hands, welcome. And then we just feel worse with ourselves when we never complete them. It's just, yeah. You should be trying to do the best you can do your whole life. Every day. That sounds, okay, forget that. That's just, we all have good days and bad days. Bad connections is your 2019 stirring the pot with your internet. So I don't know if you all understood what my thumbnail was, but I was doing a bit of tidying up and I found an unopened packet. An unopened, that's totally sealed, right? Packet of my my Laser X segment. So that was my 14 segment laser cut displays that I made. I don't have an assembled one anywhere because I sold my last one ages ago. So these are from 2018. And you know, I haven't had any on Tindy for ages because I thought that I was out and I just wasn't going to make any more of the boards. And yeah, I found a whole unopened packet. And then when I was looking further, I found a whole bunch of open ones, 15 open ones that had already been pulled apart. So I'm going to make some on the stream today. Why not? I'm going to make them, and I just want to deplete all my stock, whatever that means. Helmet says, what useless resolutions are really met anyway. That's right. Like we all get excited and pumped up for the start of the year, and then life gets in the way again. Hello, Mr. Watts. Happy New Year. Can't stop on my way to a party. Have a great stream. Have a great party, mate. I hope you have a really good time. Just look after yourself, mate. And no texting on the way home, okay? Yeah. Red nukes people's minds. That's ouch. No, you can't give 100% to everything. I meant that you should it's better camera angle. Just meant that, you know, like if something's important to you, you should do it. And you shouldn't need a New Year's resolution to do it. Excuse me. Wow. This is why you should do regular mailbags. Why is that? To remind myself that I've got parts. Yeah, I don't know. It's part of my... Yeah, I don't know. I'm making something unexpected. It's amazing what you find tidying up. Yes, I know. I didn't realise I had another sealed bag of them. I mean, there's only 20 in here. There's 10 boards. Whoops, 2 on a board. So there's only 20 plus those. So it's 35. Will I make 35 of them? I don't know. But my plan is I'm going to obviously not make 35 of them on the stream today, but I'm going to, because obviously I need to laser cut a whole bunch of stuff for them. And that was the time consuming part. That's why I really didn't continue with them. They look fantastic, but they were really time consuming to make. But I'm going to make a whole bunch and I'm going to put them on Tindy and I'm probably going to discount them on Tindy just to get rid of them. I feel like there's a whole bunch of things over there on my shelf down there. Let's see if I can point to it. This shelf here. These are all, most of them are older projects, unfinished or just, I just want to, there's a whole bunch of stuff there I want to move on from. So it's not a New Year's resolution, but 2020, the start of 2020 for me is just finishing off projects and moving on from them. Hey, Crazy Roops. Hello, Charles. What else? Hey, Ian. Hey, Andy Mouse. What are you all doing? You should all be at the pub or spending time with your family. I feel bad. I feel honoured, but I feel bad. Yeah, New Year's Day is just like another day. Absolutely, nothing changes. It's my kids stayed up to watch the kids' fireworks last night till about, I think it was, they were on about 9:15 or 9:30, and that was kind of fun. And then they went to bed, and it's just another day now. Hello, Jose. Unexpected PCB leftovers. Well, they're not leftovers. They were just, I Yeah, didn't even remember they were in there. It's crazy. Time to buy exercise equipment to put in storage next week. Exactly, that's the point, right? Go join a gym that you won't turn up to after the first week. Red ones go faster. Red what? What go faster? Yeah, I saw David posted a video. I haven't watched. I'm going to watch it after the stream. Maybe watch it during when I have lunch today. Make 20. I don't think I can make 20. I have to hand place all the LEDs. We'll see how we go. Hello, David. Ian doesn't like his family. 2019 was the Tiny Pico. The year of the Tiny Pico. Yeah, possibly. What's 2020 going to be? I don't know. My 2020 resolution is to finish my M5 Stack book and write a novel this year. Oh, you know what? I would love to write a novel. I hate writing. I really don't enjoy writing. I'm not a good writer and a good author. But I would love to. I wish I was. I'd love to write. Hey Hojad. Hey Michael. Mr. Bernhardt. Happy New Year. You're with your family and you're all watching me on... Rob, go out. Take your family out. Don't waste their brain cells watching this. What are you doing? Hey Amos. Happy New Year, mate. Hope all is well in the US. What's the meme of the decade, of the last decade? LED 7? It could be. I think so. That was a pretty funny one, wasn't it? Adam's third novel. Whoa. Hey, Tom. Oh, Big Clive's doing a stream as well, is he? Well, you can all go to that stream if you want to. That's okay. I will not be offended. Sorry, I'm plowing through this coffee. It's awesome. So, I have news. My 3D printer is fixed. Which is really exciting. Although I had a lot of... Once I finally got it fixed, I had a lot of trouble having re-leveling everything. It's not quite as good as I had it beforehand. Oh, hang on. Hence, only here for a bit. Okay. Well, I appreciate the brain cells that they are losing just watching me on the stream. Thanks, Rob. The Manx Beard Club. I don't know what the Manx Beard Club is. I mean, I've heard people talk about it. I've never watched it. Anyway, so my printer's fixed, which is great. And so, while I was waiting for my printer to... Okay, so I'll tell you a quick story. I've been meaning to redesign my Reflow Master case, my 3D printer case, for a long time. Just minor tweaks, because there's some things in it that was just very painful. So here is my... Let me switch cameras, so I'll show you. Let me move this out of the way. So this is my current Reflow Master case. This is the... I printed this just before my printer died. Just an orange one, because I'm out of black PLA. And so I'm out of black and I'm out of red. And so what my plan was, and I've got a whole bunch of Reflow Masters ready to go, and I've got people waiting for Reflow Masters. So what I was going to do was just release 4 more and only have grey or silver and orange as the options for cases. Because if you want a case, that's all I could print. And so one of the issues I've had with my printer is warping. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see here, but the case is kind of warped a bit. So obviously edges lifting up a little bit on, although it fits okay, edges lifting up on the edge of the print. But this is before my printer died, before the filament issue, which for those that don't know about, I had a disaster with my printer. Anyway, I managed to fix it, get rid of the leaks. But there's some inherent problems with this design. 2 of them. First one is it prints face down, so you get a nice front face here. But because it prints face down, the switch that goes in here, this is printed on an angle, and I always get a bit of a mess over here, which is, it's yuck, but it gets covered up by the switch. But it's hard to get the switch in. But the other problem is I have little holders here, you might be able to see, to put these little square nuts in. So I'm missing some stream. I'll get back to the chat. I'll get back in a second. To put these nuts in, and the nuts goes into these slots, and then when this case goes on, you screw in here and it holds it together, right? And design works well, except because of the angle this is printed on, these are overhangings, and so there's all this debris in here, and it's just really messy. So my plan was to always redesign this section here, and also maybe change the front of the case. But I never did, because there was never a time to redesign it, and every time I thought I'd have time to redesign it, I didn't, and then more orders came in. But then my printer died, and I had no printer, and I couldn't do anything with it, so I couldn't sell them, and so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to use this time now to redesign. And so what I did was, this one's actually a slightly failed print, now that my printer's working though. It pretty much looks the same, but it's got a new font down the bottom, a bit easier to read, and I've got chamfered edges everywhere. Redesigned the back a little bit, changed the angle of this so it actually prints flat, and I redesigned these little slots here. I'm not sure if you can see. So I used the trick where, because it prints this way, it's still an overhang, but I've got this tapered edge that comes up, so it builds a platform. Is that even in focus? I hope so. So it builds a platform to hold these slots in, and now these nuts just go nicely into these slots, and so there's no more cleanup. So anyway, I was really excited because wow, they go in quite well. So I've now got a slightly new design for my case, and it looks a little bit nicer now, and it fits together. And yeah, this is a nice color, although it's the original color I used to do my gray in was the Prusa silver, which I ran out of, and then I haven't been able to find an exact color, so that the original ones I used to do were a bit shinier than this, a bit silvery gray. So anyway, I'm quite happy that I finally redesigned it. It only looks a little bit different. This one failed because I wrecked the bevel. This is actually quite thin here. The bevel broke on the inside, or the chamfered edge. But I've since fixed that. So that's exciting. And Ian in the chat sent me a whole bunch, or I don't know what he sent me yet, some PLA. They tried to deliver it yesterday. The guy who went to deliver it didn't even ring the doorbell. So he just left a card. Didn't ring the doorbell, he left a card, didn't even put any details on the card of what it is. And now I have to wait till tomorrow to pick it up, which is really annoying. What did I miss? Just another day. One more day to turn off digits. I don't like to be around people drinking. Rather spend my New Year's Eve watching a live stream. Thanks, Charles. Maybe learn something. I doubt you'll learn something here. But thank you. Big Clive's mates. Oh yeah, Big Clive does the three of them where they're chatting about stuff. Yes, I know those streams. Is there really an Isle of Lucy? I don't know. There's definitely an Isle of Man. We have any colour you like, as long as it's 3D orange. Well, that was the thing. I'm out. So I've got some black on the way from Ian, which is fantastic. I still don't have a solution for red. I sent that other PLA back, that order. They're giving me my money back, which is great. But everyone's closed here till the 7th of January, so I can't get any PLA from anyone else, which is really frustrating. And I've got people waiting for reflow masters, and I can't ship them. Well, I can, but I can't sell people cases, and probably 80% of the people who order reflow master order a case off me. So, but anyway, I'm happy that I've got a redesign. It's a slightly more modern look of the case, and it prints easier, and it's less cleanup for me to do after a print, which is nice. Glad to hear the printer's working again. Yes, tell me about it. It was like, I've honestly invested at least 150 hours in fixing it and getting it working. It was a real nightmare. Use heat insets instead. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've got thousands of these little square nuts. And it just, as an idea, it just works really well. I don't know. I think this is a great solution. It was a great fix to the problem. What I had here worked really well. I just had to get a knife in here and clean them out, and it was just a bit messy. But now I don't have to. There's no cleanup at all with this new case. So I couldn't print, so I was designing. Gave me an excuse to get it done. It was been on my list of something to do for like 9 months. So yay. A clay color. No, it's just grey. It's actually a nice. It doesn't quite look as nice. Excuse me, on the camera. It's just a nice grey, I guess. It's not quite a gunmetal grey, but it's not quite a silvery grey. Looks nice in real life. Hey, Circa Tucson, I don't know how to pronounce that, but Happy New Year to you too, mate. Thank you. I also look forward to seeing what I come up with in 2020. Hey, Milosh. Thanks, Andy Mouse. Yeah, the case does look good. Just a kilo. You sent me a kilo. Yay. I'll go through that in like 3 days, Ian. Nah, that is awesome. What's high 1000? An Isle of Dogs. Really? Square nuts like that are stronger and easier to align. And are cheap. I buy them from RS, so they're not the cheapest. I could get them much cheaper from Ali, but yeah. Free shipping from RS. I bought thousands of them. You have to restart the internet, Adam. Okay, so shall we do some building, some PCB stuff? I think we should. Hey, Live Art Rainbow. Live Art Rainbow. That's cool. That makes my imagination go, yeah, nuts. Like live Art Rainbow. Anyway, hello in Windsor, Canada. About 1,000 in Swedish. Oh, is that what it means? Okay, wow. So, I don't even know English. Yeah, my English is not good. I do art with light. Yeah, that's, do you have a channel or something? Do you have a link or do you have anything you can showcase? That sounds really interesting. Build it. Okay, we're going to build it. I'm going to move my chat over so I can see it from over here. Please post a link, or it might not come up. Try it, post a link, maybe no one else will see it, but if I see it, I can repost it so everyone can see it. Johnny's off to celebrate. Bye, mate. Have an awesome rest of the evening. I hope you, don't drink too much. I know 6 different languages and they're all English. Yes, English is a very weird language, isn't it? Hello, David. Happy New Year, mate. Okay, we're off. Catch up the stream tomorrow. See you, Rob. Catch you later, mate. Thank you for joining. Bye to Rob's family. Wow, that was a bit weird. I hope you have a fun night. Do you all have fireworks? You all have fireworks, I would assume, right? You can't have New Year's Eve without fireworks. Okay, here's a link to the channel. Waiting with bated breath. I want to see this link. Hopefully the link comes through. If it doesn't, we'll work something out. So I'm just cleaning the stencil. Hasn't been cleaned in a long time. My long black coffee. I don't think I'm going to last on one coffee today. I think I'm going to have to get more than one. Okay, there's no link yet. Are you not able to post a link? I love light art. Hey David, are you all finished up? Is the organ done? I know we can speak about it later, but I want to... Yeah. Is it all out of the way? Is the chat still working? I had an iced long black in 41 degrees. Hey Tom, are you local? Are you in Australia? Were you talking about on Monday? Or was it 41 degrees somewhere else? You're in Ballarat. Did I know that? I can't remember. Okay, that's awesome. Yes, it's been hot. You did post a link, it didn't work. Okay, I'm going to... have no idea who you are, Live Art Rainbow, but I'm going to take a gamble. You are now a moderator. You can post a link now. Try posting again. Mostly done, but organs are never really finished. Right, but you know what I meant by finished, right? Finished as to the point of sign off. 44 and 46 the week before. Yeah, that's just crazy weather. It's really been... You know what, every year I kind of say, like in winter, I go, wow, I don't recall it ever being this cold. And then in summer, wow, I don't recall it ever being this hot. They've been built. Yes! Congratulations, mate. So I got a mess in front of me everywhere. I'm gonna, I should probably get parts out soon. I'm gonna just build one to start with. I want to build more than one today. See if I can do that while I'm chatting. Oh, my paste is getting a bit hard. Almost time to buy some new paste, which is a shame because I've got stacks left. I mean, I go through a lot of, well, I went through a lot of these during my Tiny Pico building, obviously. Could use, no, I can't see any of it. It's chopping the link off. It's not letting you post it. Maybe there's a problem. Bummer. Okay, maybe, how can you get me, are you on my Discord? Or you could email it to me, except my email's closed. I'd really like, I want to have a look at it, but I want to share it here so other people can find out about it. Are you on the Discord? Is anyone here not on my Discord? Just asking. Invite people. I'm going to put an invite if it actually, no, that was not going to work. See if I can even post. Can you all see that link? Hey Yuri. Hey Danny. Wow, how many people are not on Discord? And how many new people are popping in? Hey Paul Jotaviator. Wait. Paul Jot. Oh, yep, you got the link working. Yay. Okay, and the link came through. Okay, cool. For those that don't know, I've got an Unexpected Maker Discord channel where people hang out and chat. If you don't know what Discord is, it's a what is it? It's a kind of like a chat server. It's a modern IRC type thing. And there are hundreds of people. How many people all up? Almost 300. I mean, don't have to, but there's obviously, you know, we all chat on there, and there's different channels, and we can chat about all sorts of things. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird. Like IRC was definitely easier, but Discord's got some pretty cool things. Anyway, that link, join up if you want to join up. Come and say hi. People share projects on there and chat and ask questions, get support and help for my particular things, like, you know, Tiny Pico and stuff. Sorry, I need a sneeze. And just talk about their own projects and general electronics questions and stuff. So, yeah, all of you feel free to join. Oh, a few people just have. Human Powered Bicycle, and Tom's here, and Bell's Daniel. Nice. Okay, what did I miss? Sorry. Okay, I want to quickly look at this. Sorry folks, I know I'm going to paste in a second. I should put the lid back on the paste. Just for a sec. I want to see this channel. I want to see this light art. Adam's connection keeps dropping. It's a CIA conspiracy, mate. Okay, open in a new window. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna just switch. Let me just change my screen. Now we've got two chats. Don't worry about the two chats. I'll just clear that off. Oh no, videos. 9 subscribers. Come on, let's get Live Art Rainbow some subscribers. Changing lights. Aurora Borealis. Rainbow lamp. Which one should I look at? Let's go to the latest one. Let's make sure there's no audio, just in case I don't get in trouble. Oh, holy moly! So is that they're just RGB lights that have, see if we can get it bigger. And you do patterns on the outside? Are they like laser cut designs? So I'm just, Wow. So what do you work with those? Oh, okay, they're laser cut. Like, is it vinyl? Or, like, what are you cutting those designs with? They look quite intricate. Sorry, I'm just going to randomly pick different things. Wow, they look really nice. So what are you running them off a microcontroller? And are they Bluetooth or Wi-Fi enabled or something, or they're just an on-off switch with just cycling LEDs? That's actually really nice. Oops. Oh, I really hate how YouTube does that. Oh, it's all recycling. Ooh, nice. Look at that. That is really cool. So do you make and sell these? Sorry, folks. I know it's on a bit of a tangent, what we're on right now. But you know me. I love RGB. Everything RGB. And I like interesting use of RGB stuff. Like you could, like this tall one here that you've got, like with all the circle. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Like, I don't know how reproducible they are, but like you could sell one of those for like $1,000 each. I mean, I wouldn't pay $1,000 for it. No offense, because I don't. Yeah, I can't even spend $50 on anything for me. I'm a miser at the moment. But like you know what I mean? Like in terms of an art installation, that looks fantastic. Really nice. Well done. Cool. Excellent. Okay. I need to start doing this. I need to not avoid it. Let's do some pasting and building. Okay. Yeah, I was just saying my paste is, so like I went through about 3 or 4 tubs of this. It's the thermally stable, so it doesn't have to be refrigerated. The downside is it just doesn't last very long. So it's quite thick now. Oh, it's still totally usable, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to build tiny picos with it, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. But I wouldn't want to do super fine pitch with it. Is that wide enough? No, it's not. But can definitely do not fine pitch, which is what I'm going to be doing now. Oh, it's not that dry actually. It's very tacky still. Could probably get away with it. Okay. I have not built one of these in, well, obviously a very long time, right? Because these boards came in August of 2018. I probably haven't built any in 2019 at all. So over a year. Yeah, this paste is okay. Although I should have probably taken that end down. That's okay. The nice thing about not fine pitch stuff, I'm so used to working with super fine pitch, that with not fine pitch stuff, you can just be quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word. You can be very inaccurate with your pasting, and it's still going to work perfectly fine. Okay, it's a bit far away from me. I might have to switch my glasses, but then I can't see the chat. I'm just going to put that back up so I can see it. Is that a picnic plastic knife? No, not a picnic. They're kids' ones. So for young kids, learning how to use a fork and knife, something that isn't sharp. So yeah, we've got lots of leftover plasticky stuff. Add flux to it. Yeah, no, I don't want to add flux to it. I don't want to change its composition. We'll see. I don't know. So I'm almost out of tiny picos again. So I'm going to find myself making some more soon. I might just buy some new paste and start with fresh paste, I think. I need to work out a way of getting my camera closer to me. So this here, to get this in the center of the camera right now, is about 60 centimeters away from my head, which is a terrible way to have to assemble boards. Just letting you all know the pain and suffering I'm going to do. I've got a whole reel of these to put on. So these were bought so long ago. Do not change composition, the flux. Right, but you got to remember the flux that I would put in here is going to be totally different flux than the flux that it comes with. Right, whatever flux they use in here will it'll be a completely different chemical composition to whatever flux I'd have. So it'll totally change it. Hey Brian, hello. Hey DIY in the ghetto. Yeah, so I'm not prepared to change its composition, but that's okay. Happy New Year, Brian. What solvent would I add? Oh, you're asking Tabletronics. Yeah, I don't know what solvent. So yeah, I was just going to say just quickly. Well, let me just. So these were made obviously, as I said, 2018. So well before my tiny pico journey or my manufacturing journey. And even though I did these as panels, I did single stencils because back then I was hand assembling everything, right? So I couldn't even pick and place these if I wanted to because I can't stencil them on a panel, which is really weird. So I'm gonna have to hand place all these, which is fine. And I could go get my little vacuum pump thing, but it's over on the other side of the room, and yeah, I'm just gonna do this by hand. But anyway, I've got a nice reel. I don't even know how many of these I need. I'm just gonna dump out a whole bunch, whatever, because I'm gonna make a few boards. Doesn't matter if I've got extras. Means I have to flip them all over. Whatever. We'll live. You should be able to thin the paste down with flux of some sort. I add alcohol to my coffee. No, I don't. I should have this morning though. Yum coffee. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to put this on a bit of an angle. I'll get a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Not that it's that... Yeah, it's not like rocket science or anything. Just need to get on an angle that kind of works. The nice thing is I've got all these LEDs oriented the same way. So for those that remember... No, I might have to change my glasses because I can't see what I'm doing. For those that remember, I sacrificed routing, ease of routing to do ease of orientation. So, I mean, this was obviously a long time ago. On a pick and place machine, I wouldn't have to care. But when you're hand assembling LEDs, what you don't want to be doing is constantly having to double check that you've got the LED the right way around. The nice thing about these is it's only like a 180 degree turn and you've got the corner, the little triangle in the corner. But it makes it so much easier if they're just all the same way. This isn't too bad. I can definitely whip out stacks of these by hand. It's what I used to do. If you all remember. I feel like I've been spoiled with the pick and place machine. Not that I get to build everything on it. So did you all catch my last video? I know it's probably not interesting to everyone because of the topic. Not everyone is interested in designing stuff for the pick and place machine, but I built some... I think I've sold how I'm going to do my ad hoc feeders for the pick and place machine, which is pretty exciting. And now that my printer's fixed and I've got some black PLA on the way, I will be able to print, like finish the design and print them off. Glycerine is awesome. Yeah, I don't think you put glycerine inside solder paste. I'm not quite sure that would be a good idea. I mean, apart from the fact that it's explosive, isn't it? What did I miss in the chat? The adapters for the P&P. Yes, it's like, yeah, it's not obviously something that is going to be for everyone. In fact, it actually didn't do very well view-wise on my channel. Does this segment do alpha and symbols? Yeah, this is a 14 segment. So this is my old laser one. Hang on. This one, let me just, I'll just for those of you that don't know what I'm building right now, I will show you what I'm building. Copy. Paste. So these, hopefully that link worked. Actually what I should do is this might be easier. So it's these things. The 14 segment version. So this one here. So do you remember these? I made these laser cut displays. I had a 7 segment and a 14 segment version. And yeah, I stopped making them. Like, they were really hard to make. I mean, for $9.90, they might sound like a lot of money for like a 14 segment display. Well, actually, that's for the 7. I think whatever, $12 for the 14. But it's a stack of work. Like, if you look at all the bits, like, that's what I have to produce for every one of them. I have to laser cut the 2 faces. I have to laser cut the segments, and then I have to, I don't know if you remember, I spray paint all the segments with frosted spray paint. Hang on a second. So here's some I did yesterday in preparation. If I can find my mouse. So like here, this is a segment that I laser cut a whole bunch of them, and this has got frosted spray paint on it. So that way it lights up really nicely. So if I don't spray paint it, if I leave it clear, it still lights up, but it doesn't light up anywhere near as nicely. Like you don't get this vivid, you don't get this kind of vivid look on the display. Hey BLR, you're in Paris, awesome. Bonjour. So basically I stopped making these. Well, I don't remember why I stopped making them. I think I stopped making them when I designed my new ones. You'll know about my new ones, right? So just, bum bum bum. So these are my new 7 segment ones. These are, you know, the ones with the RGB, with the sideways lights. So it uses that 3D printed light pipe. Because these are much easier for me to make, right? It's just PCB and some 3D prints, much quicker. But these are only 7 segments, and so when I found these PCBs, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a whole bunch more of the 14 segment ones. You know, you have too many PCBs when you find unopened packs in your... Well, it wasn't in my couch cushions. It was in a box. It doesn't sound like a lot. It's not a lot, really. Like, if I look at my labor cost, my labor alone on these things, I don't make any money on them. Like, it's definitely for the love of it. But, couldn't you just use a sugar glue fume bath? The problem is I can't... The sides need to stay clear, right? So I can't use anything that's going to pull the paper off the outside, or yeah, or eat into the sides. I want the sides to be clear, and I want the put these caps on. The sides to be clear and the edges to be frosted. It was a really poor design. It's a typical Xeon thing, right? Xeon designed something that looks really cool, but that has so much labor involved in producing it that Xeon ends up, I'm talking about myself, like third person, that Xeon ends up getting really pissed off having to make them. And so then he stops making them. Like, sometimes I just don't think things through. But you know what? I've got some... Well, I don't really have some downtime. Like, I feel like I'm doing them because I've got downtime, but I don't really. Like, I've got stacks of stuff to do. But I feel like it's been such a long time since I made some, I can suffer through making some more. I just want to clear the PCBs out. I don't know how many I'll list, but I'm going to list just a bunch of them. How many I need? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to list just a bunch of them, make them. They won't be in kit form. They'll just be pre-built. I'm not going to kit them up. And if they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. If they like drip away in sales, whatever. But once they're done and then they're sitting in a box made, I don't have to worry about having to build them to order as people order them. Fine grit sandpaper. Yeah, I can't sandpaper every one of them individually. There's 14 segments per board, but there's 16 pieces. Like, I was originally hand sanding them. They just take forever. Like, that's even slower. At least when I spray paint them, I can lay them all out and just spray paint them in one hit, right? Gotta make sure I get this on the right way. Okay, so that's really not a straight cap over there. That's one board done. No, it's not. I need to put a resistor on it. I'm going to just reflow one and make sure that my paste is okay. And then I'll build a bunch more, I think. And I need to quickly put together a test rig to test them. Hello, Imagination2 from. Hi to anyone that I've missed saying hi to. Poor Sion. Yeah. So I bought a rock tumbler. I've got an unopened rock tumbler in a box in my garage. And I bought it from someone's recommendation. But the problem is, I never did it because I don't believe it's not... I think it's going to pull off the paper on this. It's going to scratch the paper on the side. And I didn't want to do that. So I realized I didn't put my paste back in the jar. Okay, I'm going to... Bear with me a second. I'm going to reflow this. I'm going to go get myself a micro. Oh, I've got one there. I need to put some code on a micro to test it. But I'm going to first... Let me just reflow this. I'll switch cameras. There's really not a lot to see. I'm going to use my reflow master down the end of the office. All the way down there. It's nothing overly exciting. Except there's a whole bunch of stuff on it, which I need to clear off. My desk is a bit of a mess over here. Okay. That's going. That is going. There's really not a lot to see. I know everyone would like a reflow cam. Okay, what have I just done to my camera? I know everyone would like a reflow cam, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. What did I miss? Sandblaster. I'm pretty sure the pieces won't survive that. I just checked. A fume bath will work. I can't confirm it will impact under the paper. Wouldn't think so. Hey Sylvain, what's with LEDs at a weird angle? You'll see shortly why they're on a weird angle. You'll see. I'd watch a 24-hour stream of reflow. Really? It's not that exciting. Hey Bravine, I can't figure out it's for, Ian. What's for? Use a hard diffusion from Roscoe or Leap filters. Laser cut the outline. Use a hard diffusion. I'm not sure what that is, Mocky. Hello, by the way. Laser cut the outline. So is it... The problem is I want to clear... Hang on, let me get a piece. I'll show you what I'm after. No, it's not it. X7. Okay. This is my... Let me just switch cameras. No, wrong one. So this is the 7-segment version. So I'm not sure if you remember, or everyone remembers. I want it transparent here, but I want it diffused here. I will check out Roscoe filters, but I also need it to be affordable, right? Like I was looking early on at specialty acrylic that would come pre-diffused like this, and it was going to work out to like $400 a sheet. And it was just too expensive. Like at the end of the day, at the time that I was making these, like it had to be affordable. It had to be manageable for me to be able to produce and affordable to sell. Hey Martend, makers don't make mistakes. We add random features to a project. I don't know. I made my fair share of mistakes and I'll put my hand up and admit it. But that's how we learn, so that's okay. Yeah, so this is the... So I'm going to need to... I need to build a test rig. I thought I had one somewhere. Hang on a second. I might still have my old test rig in stuff that I haven't cleaned up yet. Surprise, surprise. No, maybe not. Got stuff everywhere. Cannot believe how much stuff I've got everywhere still. I still haven't finished setting my office up. How bad am I? Nope. Okay, well. I guess I need to make one. I guess I'm going to have to make a test rig. I'm going to need some cables. Sorry folks, this is really badly planned it seems, as usual. What can I tell you? Okay, I need some of those. And some DuPont cables. How's my oven going? Good, almost done. I'm going to need a microcontroller. How about a tiny Pico? Yay! Yes, diffused plastic is pricey. You need some for an LED lamp. Would it be possible to stack them with the outer covering pieces and sandblast the front? No, not really. There's no way to hold them together. They're too small, too fiddly, and different sizes. And some of the pieces are really small. Oh, nothing beats the smell of reflow. Whoa! That was a joke. I've lost my mouse. Yeah, stacking them's not enough. Like, the way I'm doing it right now, like, it's definitely the fastest way I came up with. And I tried a lot of different things. But it's still not cost effective in any way. In any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so I'm going to need... There's no code on this, obviously, it's going to do anything right now. I will use grey for ground. Surprise, surprise. And I will use... Quite convenient, these little boards that I made to 3-up. I want 3 volts. I'm just going to use 3 volts, and I'll probably stick it on 15. Okay. So that's finished reflowing. Let me just take it out. I'm going to need some pliers because that's going to be hot. Can everyone hear me all the way down there? I hope so. Sorry. Okay. Leaving it over there. For those that aren't aware, I deliberately have my reflow on the other end of the office now. I used to have it sitting next to me. Which, yeah, it meant that I was constantly, while I was working, constantly had the reflow smell in my face, which just wasn't great. So now I have it deliberately on the other end of the office. So what I want to do is, I'm going to need to put some code on this. If I can find a USB cable, here we go. I have no idea what code's on here now. Where's the oven? I don't get that. I don't go that far for a holiday. Ha ha. It's so far away. Plus I've got the one in my garage still. I've got the T962A. Yeah. Superglue fumes reacts with exposed acrylic and it will frost. Superglue fumes. Really? How do I do super glue fumes though? How would I do that? Storage in sealed containers with desiccant is essential for many reflowed semiconductors. What was that about? Buzz mistake. Use a fume bath. Yeah, I don't know what a fume bath is though. Like I've never heard of a fume bath. Like it sounds dangerous. Is it dangerous? Like you're talking about me, right? The guy that pokes himself in the head with test probes and... Oh, I'm not going to even show you my thumb. What I did to my thumb the other day. Stuck a whole thing right through the side of my thumb. A sealed box in a small foil container. But what do I put in the container? Like just super glue? Just squeeze super glue into it? Like I can't possibly see how that's going to be easier or better, potentially. I don't know. Like to me it sounds, yeah, it makes me... Sounds dangerous. Put super glue in the foil and seal it. So squeeze super glue out. Doesn't super glue dry? Let me see if I've still got my laser segment library on here. I know you can't see my screen, but sorry. Laser X segment. Oh, I do. Maybe I can use that code to test it. See you later, BLR. 1, okay, it thinks it's on 12. I will change that code and make it 15. Okay, and I am... Oh, my library's not there. That sucks. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Let me just switch cameras. Okay. So my library's not here. Laser X segment, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I renamed it when I was doing some testing a long time. I mean, this is ages ago, right? I'll be surprised if this even works. But we're about to find out. We'll see how good or bad my code was at the time. Library's here. Laser X segment. So why does it not... Wild Ride Apocalypse Now. Who's apocalypting? Forget it. Laser X segment. There's a library in there. Oh, right. I know what it is. Okay, that should compile now. That looks better. Okay, let's get the board. It is nice and toasty. Here it is. Just switch back. Vim bath is basically the same as a ghetto fingerprint detection exposure device. Wow. Okay. So I'm just quickly checking this. It looks good, I think. Everything's straight, although yes, they're angled. So I should be able to ground data VCC. I should be able to just put these wires in. Maybe. And they're not lighting up. Did I get them right? Ground, data, VC. I got them connected properly. 15, 3 in ground. Maybe I just need to do a reset on the tiny Pico. There we go. Yes, no. Oh, that's bright. So why is that not working? Maybe I haven't got... Let me zoom back out a bit. That's really bright, isn't it? Let me get a known good working one. Although it's, I might need a different cable for that. Have I got this wired right? 15. Yeah, it should be right. Let me get some different wires. I know there's going to be super long, but that's okay. I'm just going to do one. Just because I've got these lying around. 2. I'm curious to know whether the 1, 2, and 3. Well, no. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. I'm curious, maybe I've disabled something for the ESP32 on this library. Can't remember. Oh, come on. Yeah, you're not working either. Okay, what have I done to this library? Maybe I broke the library. It's quite possible. Just one display. 15. Do those LEDs work with 3.3 volts? Yes, they do. Hey, Dren. They do work with 3.3 volts. I should look in the console. Is there any errors? Oh. Oh, no. Okay. Awesome. Rutterfrucht Zwerg. I will have a look at the Twitter shortly. What I might do is, it could be that my Laser X segment library is dead because the fact that I had to go and enable it just then means that it's probably in a bad state. And I don't know why I left. I mean, this is obviously a year and a half ago. What I'm going to do is just go do a strand test, near pixel strand test, and that should get us up and running. Okay, LED pin is 15 and the number of pixels is Can't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, RFZ. I will do that because I can't even pronounce your name. Doing well. Doing well. Okay. There we go. Right. Yeah, it's my library that's wrecked. Good to know. So I should be able to unplug that. Take that away. And I should be able to just... If I can get that pin in. There we go. All LEDs working. Really bad test though. Test code. But it's a good one. Yay. Shall we build some more? Let's build some more. At least we can test them now. Bonus. Lost my OBS. Here we go. Woot working. So, how many shall we build? I don't know. Some. A few. I need to put something underneath the stencil here. That's really annoying. I'm going to just quickly... Whoop. That was not what I wanted to do. Don't matter. Whatever. I need to support the stencil at this bottom end. I'm going to stick... Oh god, look how old this tape is. It's just destroying itself. I need some PCB. Any PCB. Spare PCB. Come on. You think I've got a spare PCB lying around somewhere? Okay. Here's an old 7-segment one. So I just want to stick that down here so I can support the bottom of the stencil so it doesn't bow. That's all. Where's my scissors? Okay, right. See, now it doesn't bow. Excellent. Dun dun dun. Whoa. Get in. Much better. Okay, what have I missed? Hey, Akuresh. Happy New Year to you too. Yes, if I've missed saying hi and Happy New Year to anyone, I apologise. Hack the Planet. What a great movie. I watch it every few years. So I've got some PCBs coming, and they were supposed to be here yesterday, but they didn't arrive. Now they're coming tomorrow. Obviously no one delivers today because of New Year's Day. So I thought I'd have some other new PCBs to build today. But yeah, that didn't happen. Lucky I found these though. Okay. Shall I stencil 2 at a time? Not great alignment on my stencil, I have to say. I'll do 2 at a time. I'll do 2 this time. Once again, it's not fine pitch, so it's fine. Okay. Excellent. Let's do 2. That way I can see if I can get my palm stuck on one of them. Hey Daniel. Hi. There's no requirement for folks to say hello, but it's nice. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, no, it's got to be... I'll get closer for you. I'm going to do them on an angle. I might have to do one at a time. And I won't have enough LEDs. That's okay. Who was it that asked why the LEDs are on an angle? Someone asked why they're on an angle. And that is because they're a 14 segment display. And the actual segments are on an angle. So I know I could have kept them all straight. But this way they line up with the... They're both on yet. They line up with the direction of the segments. Which I just think it looked nicer. Might do one at a time because I'm going to lean over and knock over here. So all my LEDs are off to the side. Let's get that a bit higher so you can see. Here's a whole bunch of LEDs. OCD triggered. Why? Because they're on an angle? Well, it shouldn't be, right? Because like that's the direction the segment goes. The segment goes down here. So once the segments are there, you go, oh, okay, that makes sense. I hope. By the way, I found some interesting diffusion plastic. It's the inside plastic sheets inside LCD displays. Plenty to experiment with old broken LCD monitors, easily laser cut also. Okay, interesting. I mean, it's too late for these. Like I'm not. Like I want to get these done, and I'm gonna list them on Tindy, and if they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. Like right now, all the parts and everything for them are sitting here. I've already paid for them. The PCBs and all of these LEDs. Like I really don't have a lot of other projects for these LEDs. So the money's already been spent. It's just my time to assemble them all. I'm just going to chip away at it until there are none left. But trying to solve like pre-frosted or whatever it is, diffused acrylic now is probably a pointless exercise. Unless I want to reinvent these again, which I don't think I do. It's also like, there's a lot of cleaning involved after you've laser cut acrylic. Like all the paper gets burnt around the edges. So I know my camera's not really in a great spot. You can't really see what I'm doing, or can't see me. Yeah, like the edge of the paper gets all burnt and you got to clean them all off. You get these black flecks everywhere and stuff. It's just, excuse me. It's a nasty process. So I don't know. Like I really thought this project was done until I found the boards. Like I didn't have any intention of revisiting it. Very quiet in here. I was thinking of trying to find a royalty-free playlist of music that I like, that I can have in the background during my streams. What do you think? If it was soft, would everyone be annoyed if there was music in the background? You all get to listen to me, but I only get to listen to me. Yeah. Hope these are all going on the right way. And if I was ever going to redo these again, revisit them, I'll obviously set them up for pick and place. So I don't have to sit here doing this, because this is also a bit of a manual labour of love. And if you look at how much time it takes for me to build one of these, including assembling it like this, and thought I had the right number, doing all the laser cutting, kitting it up in a bag, ready to sell. Like I got to be maybe earning $4 an hour. You got LED 7 upside down. Ha ha, I don't think so. But good one. Good joke. How does Tindy work out for you? I suspect small rewards. Yeah, I mean it is like quite often I'll have someone buy just one thing on Tindy. It takes as much effort for me to go and pack 10 things in an order as it does to pack one thing in an order, really. It's okay. It's a good platform to sell on. I've sold a fair bit of stuff, but I mean, obviously not. I don't make enough money on my stuff to really, how do I say it? Like it's definitely, it's not a viable business making stuff like this, right? I've said it before. I need to really rethink how I monetize myself to be able to do this, meaning full-time hardware, full-time YouTube channel, etc. Like it's just not it's not viable making products like this. Small margin, high volume is one thing, but this is small volume, high margin. Sorry, try again. High volume, rewind. High volume, small margin, like Tiny Pico, is almost, it's not sustainable. Not when I had to build like 4,000 of them. Well, it's getting close to 4.5 now, I think, almost, or 5, in such a short period of time, right? But overall, though, there was, the labor per unit gets amortized. But something like this, that's really low volume and low margin and really high labor, like it's just, like I say to people, like if I had a full-time job and I was doing this as a hobby, then it would make total sense. It would be a little bit of extra income and it would allow me to make stuff and, kind of feel rewarded. And, I get a kick out of people buying and using the stuff. Not from the money point of view, but from the, people feeling like the item that I've designed is of value, so they buy it. If that makes sense. So I get a kick out of that. But, if I was doing it as a hobby, why did I have that open one? Here it is. Then it would absolutely be worth it, because it wouldn't be, if I made no money on it, I made no money on it. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to change whether I get to feed my family or not. But as a business, as a sustainable business, this doesn't make any sense. So why am I doing it right now? Well, I just feel like I want to get rid of these. Not get rid of them. I just want to move on from it. Does that make sense? Like yeah. I'm still waiting for what the next thing is going to be for me. Does that make sense? Like, sorry, I'm just rambling. It's a much bigger conversation. Like I've been spending a lot of time talking with Yaz about this. Like what I've been doing over the last year isn't sustainable. Building that many Tiny Picos by myself was just really hard work. It really took a lot out of me. And products like this just, I end up resenting them. As orders come in and I find that I've got to sit here, instead of doing it because I enjoy it, I've got to do it because I've got orders to fill. It really takes the love out of it. And I don't want to sit here resenting the work that I do, because I really enjoy it. I love the designing part. I like hand assembling like this. Like I really enjoy it. Even though I've got a pick and place machine, I like doing this. Some people like sitting there soldering. I like sitting here hand assembling. but not when I've got a deadline and not when I've got to churn stuff out. You know what I mean? Not when I start looking at how much time it's taking me. Because when I start looking at how much time it's taking me, I realize that I'm making a loss on every single thing that I'm selling. I might make a profit on the BOM cost, but not on the manual work. Well, Adafruit are pretty open about how they scaled up, right? You know, they sell enough boards. They have enough staff. You know, they've got teams of people who sit there that run their production and do all their testing and do all their packing and do all their reworking and stuff. You know, when you get to the scale of the amount of stuff that Adafruit are shipping, then you can afford to have people doing that stuff. Right now, I don't sell enough stuff that I can justify bringing people on to help me. So I've got to do it all myself. Right? That's the killer. Like when they started out, they had a really small pick and place machine in their office, in a flat next door to them. I'm just gonna put this in the oven. 1 second. Okay, 2 more in the oven. Yay. Switch cameras. Yeah, like they were, from my understanding, they were living in a flat and they rented the flat next door, and they were building in there. And there was, it was Limor at the start, then there was Limor and Phil, and then, they might have had another person. Like they grew, they built up. But I feel like they did it. I'm not saying it's not possible to do it again, but they did it at a time where there was no AliExpress, or or there was no easy road for people to just buy cheap stuff from China. So, and they got to that scale just like SparkFun. They got to the scale in time, and where Adafruit really leveraged their stuff is everything else around their hardware. It's not just their hardware. It's their learning guides and their community and all the resources they put in to supporting their hardware. You know that if you go and get buy any of the Adafruit boards and modules, they've got drivers for everything for you. They've got Arduino drivers, and they've got CircuitPython drivers, and they've got learning guides on how to use them all, and they've got instructions, and they've got diagrams. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're a complete thing, and that's why they're selling the amount of hardware they're selling. I tried doing that with the Tiny Pico. Achieved a little bit, like a tiny little bit, but nowhere near the scale that I needed in terms of the learning side and the examples and the resources, because it was just me. Like, it was just, I just couldn't get enough done. I've still got things on my list of things I'd planned to do for the launch that I never got to. I've still got unfinished boards that I haven't shipped yet, like my IO expander. It's there's only so much one person can do, and that's why it's not sustainable for me. I need to find, it sounds bad, like from a business point of view, forget about the YouTube channel. From the business point of view, I need to find a product that's got much lower volume and much higher margin that I can really invest time into and make good money on when I sell it to fund the other stuff. It doesn't make getting my Tiny Picos made in China will not be any cheaper, and they'll end up being more problematic, more fail points on them. I did look at all of that. My original plan was to be manufacturing in China, but it actually doesn't make any sense. And there's no way I could have done the numbers that I did in the time frame that I did with the quality that I needed if I was going through China. The Tiny Pico, I designed the Tiny Pico in a way that unfortunately made them quite hard to make. As in, not hard to make. I couldn't, going to the cheapest manufacturing in China, I would have got massive fail rate on my boards. Like, I would have ended up having to go to a manufacturing facility in China that was a mid-tier one. And at a mid-tier level, they would have cost me... Like, I would have made no money on them to sell them. Like... So I traded that for my time. And it was good. It was a really good learning lesson. Like, I don't regret it in any way. I don't regret it. Since you use most of your boards with 3.3 logic, why don't you add a level shifter on the board? Do you rely on the fact that it works fine most of the time? Well, there isn't a lot these days that requires 5-volt logic. Hang on a sec. I know it beeps. It beeps at me when it's ready, but I still like checking it. I mean, most modules and ICs these days supports 3.3 or 5 volts, or, you know, like very little these days requires 5 volts. And if you need there is something, you put an external level shifter yourself, like adding a level shifter to a board. Well, my IR expander's got a level shifter on it. You know what I mean? Like that seems like a good application. But for putting it on the actual microcontroller itself, for the 6812s, because they don't need it. The 6812s don't need they can run off 3.3 volts with 3.3 logic. They're just not as bright. The thing with a WS2812B is that the data and the voltage need to be within the 0.7 multiplier. They don't have to run off 5 volts. They run perfectly fine off 3.3. So if you're using 3.3 for your data, you can just use 3.3 for your power. Or you can just stick a diode to drop the 5 volts down if you really need to. Undervaluing your time is a common mistake and a very bad one. Oh, absolutely. Like, I've been running businesses my whole life. I totally get the undervaluing your time thing. Like, to me, I justify it in that I'm still learning and that everything I'm working on is a learning experience for me. So, like, I'm not just trading my time. Like, that was a very specific comment that I made for Tiny Pico. I'm investing time in learning, and I'm investing time in, you know, getting myself equipment, and I'm investing time in just getting experience under my belt. You know what I mean? Like, I could sit there and use my time learning theory, or I could sit there and use my time actually building stuff and making and failing and learning. Like, I learned a lot about design for manufacturing by making and manufacturing my Tiny Picos. And if I would have gone to China to get them made, there's a stack of stuff I wouldn't have learnt or truly understood about design for manufacturing if I wasn't actually manufacturing and suffering myself. Does that make sense? There are stacks of people using ESP32s for commercial products and for consumer products and for all sorts of stuff. Absolutely. The type of products I'm making, though, they're not targeted. They're not commercial. They're really targeted for other hobbyists and enthusiasts. You know, the Tiny Pico is a development board. It's not a board targeted commercial. I do get that, the learning, but where is the payoff on this? Do you have an end position to get the payback? Well, no, I don't. So that's what I've been discussing with Yaz. Like, I don't know what call it the end game, right? It's not really a goal. Like, I don't know what my end game is, other than whatever it is I'm doing, can it be sustainable? Can I feed my family? If I can pay my mortgage and feed my family, doing what I'm doing, that's my end game right now, right? Anything beyond that is, you know, I'm not a greedy person. I don't have to be filthy rich. Like, I don't even have to be mildly rich. You know what I mean? Like, if we can live comfortably, if I can pay my mortgage, food, give my kids what they need, and not have to stress every month about where the next dollar's coming from, that's it. I would be absolutely happy at that level. Hey, Bruce. And then anything above that's a bonus, right? So That's what I'm looking at doing. Can I build? Can I keep saying build because I don't know what I'm building here. Like I've got a hardware business, kind of. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got I don't know. Altogether, can I feed my family? That's my end game. Does that make sense? I'm not looking at becoming a native fruit. I don't want to build a big business. I don't necessarily want to build something where I'm employing, stacks of people. Awesome. It's about to be 2020 for many of you. That's exciting. You can take this out of the oven. Where did I put my pliers? Did I walk back with them, did I? Yes, I did. Okay, they're cooling down. Yeah. Does that make sense, Ian? I hope that makes sense. That's my end. That's my goal. My ultimate goal. Snowing hard here. Should be fun down the mountain tomorrow. Where are you, Bruce? A white Christmas. How exciting. So that's 3 boards made. I think that's not bad. I mean, I've got a stack more to make, but I don't know if I'll make any more on the stream right now. I'm happy to just chat for a bit. Whistler, Canada. Oh, Whistler. Wow. Awesome skiing. Don't get too excited. 2020 is not all it's cracked up to be. Well, no one knows what it's cracked up to be yet, Graham, but to be fair, I mean, I definitely had some highlights in 2019, but in general, 2019 was pretty shit. So, 2020 looking good from here. It is good you're thinking about it. Maybe is doing some design consulting or something. Short-term outsourcing jobs can be great. Absolutely. That's something that's on my radar. I still have that whole imposter syndrome thing going where I don't feel I'm good enough to do any consulting work yet. And I don't know. That's kind of hard to get over. Like, I feel like for everything I know with electronics now, there's, for every one thing I know, there's 20 things I don't know still. Blade Runner is now set in the past. Yes, it is. Good point, Adam. Wow. Living in 2020 and I can hardly breathe for smoke. Shame, Graham. If only you had a time machine, you can go back in time. Let me get these boards. Just turn the oven off. Okay. Let's test these and make sure they work, shall we? Where did I put my micro? There it is. Okay, make sure I wire it the correct way. Okay, they're all flashing. Hope I'm not giving anyone an epileptic fit. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. So that board works. That's 2. Oops, missed. And 3. Okay. 3 out of 3. That looks very Christmassy, doesn't it? Very Christmassy. 3 out of 3 boards. There you go. I can still hand assemble. I've still got it. Yes. Yeah, I got a lot of decisions to make this year about my direction. It's not for you to say if you can do something. It's ultimately the decision of the people deciding to pay you. Well, absolutely, but it's also about me putting myself out there to do it. Right, so put yourself out there and see where you land. Sure, I wouldn't even know where to put myself out there. It's, I got a lot of stuff to think about and work out. I don't have an endless amount of time. For those here that don't know, I do this full time. I'm a full time. I don't even know what I'd class myself. Whatever, but I'm doing it full time. But I'm not making a living off it right now. Not even close yet. Just burning through savings a lot. I'm burning through savings slower than what I was doing before, like when I started. So I've slowed down the hemorrhaging, but I've still only got a finite amount of time before I have to stop doing this full time and go get a job. So that's the other thing, right? Like everything I'm learning right now and everything I'm doing right now really just gives me the, pads out my CV for a job. If I go get a job, I'm not going back into games. For those that don't know, I had a games company. I was a game dev and had my own game development company for a very long time. I'm not going back into games, but I'd like to stay in this space. I'd like to, I don't want to be a hardware engineer specifically, but I'd like to be, if I go get a job, I'd like to work at a company that, builds custom solutions for people, for other companies or whatever. As I mentioned already, what do you think of IoT? For example, smart agriculture. Yeah, look, there's a lot of interesting uses for IoT. I don't know if I want to be, I don't have any specific desire to be focusing on any place in the market. I mean, there's a lot of people working with agriculture. I'm in Australia, so like in Australia, there's stacks of, people working. We've got, stacks of a very large agriculture industry. Both, for local and for export. So, yeah, there's a lot of companies focusing on that. And I don't know if I've got anything to bring to the party in that space in terms of knowledge or anything. There's community here on YouTube. People have contacts, people talk. Someone will know someone who needs your skills. Possibly. I don't know how to kick that off necessarily. It hasn't kicked itself off. So there's plenty of demand for Python in finance. Yeah, I can't see myself going back into. I don't want to go into the corporate space. I don't particularly want to do software development, not as a direct role. Like if I have to do hardware software together, that's fine. But if I had to give all this up and go code in the corporate space, I'd be pretty sad. I'd feel quite disappointed in myself to end up there. I'm not saying it's a bad gig for other people to do it. It's not. Like, if I was super focused on money, I would have been doing. I would have been coding commercially a long time ago. It's just not something that I'm interested in doing. May have ideas for disability assertive tech. There are opportunities there and it would be of interest. Possibly. I mean, John Ox is spending a lot of time with that at the moment. He's got his Superhouse TV. He does home automation stuff, but he's focusing a lot of time in assistive technologies. So there's definitely a space there, but there's also I don't know anything about that space. I don't have any contacts in that space or know a lot about the requirements. But yeah, John and I have spoken about that at length. MicroPython's easier than C in some ways and harder. With its power and its modern language, that it also makes it potentially harder to do some certain things if you want, either performance or at a really low level stuff. But yeah, come work for Facebook. Yeah, I don't think so. Firstly, I can't relocate, which is already like I'm not even prepared to relocate to Sydney. Where most of the tech of all the tech companies in Australia, that they're all pretty much head office in Sydney. I mean, I could have had an option with Google, or even maybe potentially Apple a while back, but it would have required me to relocate, and just with my kids, I can't. Facebook needs a good programmer. It needs more than a good programmer. And maybe get some freelance embedded projects alongside what you're currently doing. Well, that's the thing, Dren. Like, I wouldn't mind working with other people on their projects, do some freelance work. I just don't know how to necessarily kick that off. Where to find these particular people. Obviously on LinkedIn, I'm in some jobs, hardware groups there. I've got, I'm not actively looking, but for quite a while I've been keeping my ear to the ground, if that makes sense, stuff and whatever. I mean, there are quite a few people I know in the space that know that I'm happy to take on work if anything comes up, but nothing's really come up. So Facebook has plenty of good programmers. You just need some with a conscience, Amos. Wow, that's nasty. Hope no one from Facebook, apart from you, is watching this. I've been told asked to relocate overseas a few times and dismissed it. Fun, but too much hassle. Yeah, it's very hard to relocate your family, and in my case, because of my kids and their requirements, relocating, there's no way I could go to the States with my kids and not have full family medical cover. We've got top medical cover here in Australia, as in the level that we pay for our, it's just, relocating isn't really an option. And then just not having the family and support around us, and our friends, Yaz wouldn't do it. We've spoken about it. It's just not on the card. Not on the cards. Yes, can't even talk. So my options are to make this work or to go get a job. That's okay. I mean, less options, fewer options makes decisions easier, I guess. I just need to find my niche, whatever that is. And it can't be just making microcontroller boards for the hobbyist and enthusiast markets, because there's not enough money in it. Have I considered academia, teaching, research? I don't think I'd be a good teacher. I think I've mentioned this. I've chatted about this before on the stream. Not as a teacher. Yeah, I don't know. And there's no money in that here in Australia. I'm not money focused, but if I'm going to stop and go get a job, the job has to be able to support me financially, right? So how many years have you got on me, Ian? Are you sure you got a few years on me? Yeah. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Come and write my next micro column for no money but fine to advertise. Yeah, it's the no money bit. I'm already investing my time doing things that don't make me enough money to feed my kids. So if I was going to get a job, it would have to allow me to do that. Yeah, 46 soonish. Okay, so you don't have a few years on me, mate. I've got a few years on you. So, yeah, I think you've got that backwards, Ian. But thanks for that. I feel nice you telling me that I look young. I appreciate it. Where I do casual, they have a student doing apps, iPhone, Android, tablets, etc. for the wireless charging systems of cars. Yeah, I don't know if I could. I definitely don't want to go teach software. I don't want to do software. Well, I might look younger than you, but I'm actually older than you. I'm turning 50 this year. 2020 is the year I turn 50. Woohoo! So there you go. So I've also got that little clock in my head ticking. Yep, I'm 50 this year. I was born in 1970. There you go. So that whole clock, tick, 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 50, 50, to me 50 is a barrier. Imagination too from. That's really funny. Yeah, the kids these days. You're going to be 69, Helmet? Wow. Good year, that. So yeah, I've got that whole, is anyone going to want to employ someone who's 50 years old, conversation happening in my head all the time. Crazy Roops is 40 this year. All the round numbers, all the decades are changing this year. Thanks, Azzy. I'm definitely feeling 50 this year. I used to feel much younger. I'm catching up. My body is catching up with me, I think. Adam just turned 40. Woohoo! 1970 was 50 years ago. Yes, that's why I'm turning 50 this year, in December. I just don't tell them. They would never pick it up on it. Well, apparently, yeah, like Yaz said, you don't put your age on a CV. I'm going, yeah, okay, I don't know. I haven't written a CV for a very long time. I've done my own thing my whole life. Thought Sam was 30-something. Oh, I wish I was 30-something. I know you got a job after 50, Amos, but you had to go to the other side of the world for it. And yet you had to, like, sacrifice all your morals and go work at Facebook. I'm just kidding with you, mate. I think it's awesome that you got a job at Facebook. Really good. But it's not on the cards for me. I don't think I don't want to work at a company like, nothing against Facebook. I don't want to become a small cog in a massive company. I don't think. I'm super grey and balding hard now. I'm starting to look older fast. Yeah, it happens quickly when it starts going downhill. Like in the last, so I'll tell you what happened in my 2019. I put, like, not only am I still not making enough money to do what I'm doing, but I also, during the process, stopped exercising and probably put on 5 or 6 kilos, which for me, like at 50, as all you guys will know, sorry for any chicks that are watching, hey Chris, but like once, as a guy, once you start putting on the weight in the later years of your life, it's so hard to get it back off again, right? And that's I'm going to try to turn that around this year, but like I used to be really energetic and fit, and even at 48 I was running, if not daily, every couple of days and stuff, and I let that go last year. I got so consumed in and buried, I guess, in everything that I was doing, like all the tiny Pico stuff and everything, that I just let my whole looking after myself, both mentally and physically, go. So I'm going to change that this year. Hey Mike, Happy New Year, mate. Turned 50 this year too. Hair turned grey overnight. Really? As soon as you turned 50, you woke up and it was just like... It's really weird when you look in the mirror and you can't... What's the word? You can't reconcile the fact that, like, you still... Like, none of us feel 50 or 60. David, happy birthday, David. 67 a few days ago. Like, I bet you... Like, you don't... Like, you might feel 67 right now because of everything that's going on, but mentally, like, inside, how do you... You can't justify... Like, not justify it. You can't... What's the word I'm looking for? I just said it. Hey, Julian. Happy New Year, mate. Reconcile. Like, you can't reconcile. I still think I'm 20. I still act like I'm 20. That's right. I feel the same. 20 mentally. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I might be getting older, and I might be way more tired than I used to be, and short-tempered and everything else, like, and frustrated and whatever. But like, I still can't come to terms with the fact that I'm not 20 anymore. I know what you mean. It's like so much has happened. We predate the internet, for example. Yeah, predate the internet. Like, my kids don't even understand what a world is without an iPad. I envy 80-year-olds for running marathons. Look, I've never been able to run a marathon. You're 50 with 17 years of experience, right? Well, I'm about to turn 50 with, I don't know, with 50 years of experience, but still feel like I've achieved nothing. That's a whole different conversation. I'm not even going to go there. I've achieved a lot in my life. I've had many, many successes in my life, and I talk it down like I haven't, but that's my ADHD. Like, that's my never happy, always looking for the next thing. Again, another conversation I had with Yaz the other day. Hey, Kepo Steve. Good evening. Happy New Year. Yeah, I predate. What computers do I predate? I don't know. I mean, other than ENIAC. Yeah, I predate pretty much all computers, I think. Gen 1 reinvented iPad, not Apple. Apple was just the first to patent it. Okay, sure, Adam. You just tell yourself that story. Sure. Um, Graham started working in 1970. So you started work. Your first day at work was the day I was born. Was it? Maybe. Look in the mirror and there is some old fart looking back at you. It's hard, isn't it, not justify to whatever. I'm saying justify, I don't know what that is. So I'd never work any of the big three. Got a new job this year with one of them and love it. Oh, really? I know you got a new job last year, Mike, but who did you get a job with? I saw it on Twitter that you mentioned you got a new job. I don't know where it is, though. One of the big three. So it's Google, Apple, or Facebook? Is that what you mean by big three? Star Trek, the classic series. Well, they didn't have... Yeah, maybe they were iPad-y type things. I know they did. PDPs were pre-1970. Okay. You can't say who you're working for? Is it you're doing top secret? My first computer job was cross-assembler and simulated debugging for a 4040. Well, there you go. Now you're showing your age, David. It's funny, though. Like, when I talk about computers, I still think, like, the first home computers and stuff. I mean, yeah. The Google. Yeah, I know some folks that work at Google. Google are an interesting company. They're such a massive company that, although they do a lot of... They clearly do a lot of bad things. Maybe not in, like, intentionally sinister, but they also do a lot of good things. Like, and they've got a lot of really, like, yeah, it's a really... People group Google into one box as, you know, the evil advertising company, whatever. But they're not. I mean, Google are even forgetting about Alphabet, Google are like thousands of little companies and teams of people solving big problems. Like, it's, yeah, absolutely. They do some amazing stuff with medical research and all sorts of things. So don't feel bad saying you work at Google, unless of course you work in their advertising division, and then that's evil. I just oiled my van. What? Tailgate door, and an old lady walked past, admiring the ST sliding door sound. Google, like Facebook, they're not deliberately evil. People just subscribe evil intent to anything they don't like. No, I think, okay, not deliberately evil, but I think, I don't know. There's definitely some, I have to believe there's definitely some people at Facebook and Google. I'm highlighting those two specifically and not like including Apple or Samsung or whatever, because it's different. Apple, at Google and at Facebook, that are quite happy having the bad reputation for some of the decisions are made to do with their advertising and stuff. Like, yeah, as big as those companies are, I don't believe that they couldn't be stopping and fixing and changing things at a much faster pace if they cared enough to have it changed. Like, just like with Apple, well, this is my personal beliefs, right? Just me. But just like with Apple, where they do a cost analysis on an issue, like they look at their Macs with, for instance, with the butterfly keys and all the failed keyboards and all the bad press and all of their extended warranties to fix their keyboards, right? They do a cost analysis on what it'll cost them in bad press and to fix and replace all of their hardware, and how soon they should replace that product in the marketplace. They do a cost analysis on that. There's a team of people that would look at that as a problem and go, it's not worth us rushing a new product out. We're going to keep selling this old one for now. And we'll take the hit on the replacements and we'll take the hit on the press, because in the bigger picture, it doesn't matter. Like, I feel that there's a team of people at Apple that do that. And I feel that there's a team of people at Facebook and Google that are quite happy to not rush change. That's what I believe. So I believe that there are evil, or evil's the wrong word. But the difference is with Apple for me, and I'm not starting a love hate thing with Apple, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. But like with Apple making a decision about selling or not selling a consumer product that has a fault in it, is nothing close to a Facebook or a Google knowing that their platforms are influencing hate and social discord and politics, and they're influencing fake news and all those things, and aren't stopping everything in their tracks to fix it. Like they both have the ability to, they both have the money, the bank accounts and the people, that even if they can't instantly fix the problem, they can stop the problem from happening. They can just shut it down. Like Facebook could have just shut down their feeds, but they didn't. That's what I believe. Like, you know what I mean? Like one is a bad consumer media thing, and the other one is a totally immoral social thing. Facebook are working very hard to stop and address fake news. They might be now, but this has been going on for years. Right? It's been going on for years, and they've been aware of it for years. And it's still not done. I don't know. Like, I think they have I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there aren't hundreds or thousands of really smart, caring people at Facebook that are trying to fix the problem. But the second they knew that there was an issue, shut the feeds down. Like, what's more important? Facebook being there as a platform and having fake news, or stopping the fake news and shutting down the feeds? Like, don't let people post. Like, I don't know. Like, at what level? Like, what's more important to them? Stopping the money coming in or stopping the fake news? Well, that's what I feel like. At the level that Facebook are at, or and Google are at, I feel like that they want to fix the moral stuff, but not jeopardize the finances to do it. That's really, I know it's really easy for me to say that. You know what I mean? Like that, I've just simplified the problem to something that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? But yeah. And the candidates direct ads. There should be no political ads on Facebook at all. They should have been stopped ages ago. There should be none. None are allowed. Like it's not a platform that politicians should be able to advertise on. Simple as that. Sorry. I don't know why. I know this conversation's really gone side-railed. That's okay. But like, I feel like if they really cared, hey, Pratik, like if they really thought it was an issue, they would ban it all. And if anyone tried to advertise anything like that, indirectly, whatever, shut them down, kick them off, ban them for life. Like, they could do that. Facebook could do that easily. But they don't. They're trying to fix it while still keep all of their revenue and growth and keep their platform as it is. It's as simple as that. Like, there's some people at the top somewhere who are doing a cost analysis on it. Hey, Yaz, they're doing a cost analysis on the harm that they're causing and what it's costing them financially. And they're deciding that it's not financially viable for them to fix it in a hurry. It's as simple as that. And if anyone, like, no one's going to be able to convince me otherwise. It's not the point. Amos, it's not the point of whether much money comes from it. It's they're not prepared to take a stand. Wow. Hey, Charles. What? Jeez, mate, that is really super generous. Thank you very much. Wow. Okay. I just got goosebumps. I've literally got goosebumps on my arms right now. Thanks, Charles. I really appreciate that, mate. What was I saying? Yeah, I feel like it's not about the money, Amos. It's about the moral responsibility. They could have stopped it. After what happened with the, what is it, the what was that analytics thing, whatever happened, whatever they were called, that company that was manipulating the election, like, shut it down. Like, Facebook was a place that Cambridge Analytics, thank you. Facebook was a place where people could reconnect. It was about reconnecting with friends and people you lost contact with, right? And now it's not. Now it's turned into just a media spam fest where I just get, like, I try not to touch Facebook ever. Like, I'm just constantly spammed with ad after ad, and I type one comment into a comment field in one place, and then I've got 10 different ads targeted at me instantly to do with a particular keyword that I wrote. Like, it's absolutely, yes, as Ian said, it's become a cesspool, my belief, and, like, to the point where I don't want to be on there. I definitely don't go on there to communicate with my friends much anymore. And yeah, like, and Twitter's no different. The difference with Twitter is it's much easier for me to switch off. I'm attacking Amos. Amos works for Facebook now. But I think Facebook could do the right thing. They're just not prepared to. You know, it's as simple as that. Well, I don't have to go to Facebook's. I don't have to go to the page. I mean, I use Facebook for Unexpected Maker. I post my videos on there and stuff, and I've got community members that use Facebook. Like, I feel like I need to be there to post stuff, but I don't sit there in my feed just reading stuff anymore. Sad thing is, it's a reflection on life. In life, sadly, people take advantage of people. Yeah, they do, Yuz. And Facebook gives them a platform to do that, and it's just manipulation and stuff. It's just really sad. I don't know. Like, I could even deal with all of the ad spamming and stuff if I was opting in for it. Amos, I'm not saying you guys aren't working super hard there. I believe you are. As I said, I believe that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people actively working on improving things. But you're trying to improve things when it could have just been switched off. And it should have just been switched off. And Facebook should have taken the hit ages ago and just switched all that stuff off and banned it. And actively, they should actively ban anything that is just not morally correct. And before anyone says, but it's not Facebook's responsibility to police morality, of course it is. Of course, it's their platform, and it is their responsibility. Just like I totally believe that, like it or not, it's Apple are okay. Apple are allowed to block people from fixing their hardware if they want to, and block people from putting software on their platform that they don't want to have on there. Why? Because it's their platform. They designed it, they made it, they support it, they sell it, it's their platform, and them being told that they can't do what they want with their platform is bullshit in my mind. Right? And just like Facebook shouldn't be told what they can do with their platform. They can do whatever they want with their platform. But what they're allowing to happen on their platform is pretty bad. And are they allowed to do it? Sure. Because it's their platform. But should they be doing it? No. But it's their platform though. That's the thing. Like, Danny, it's... And they're choosing to pretty much let anything go at the moment. Right. I mean, so if they want to sell private information to people on their platform, they're allowed to. The thing that should be stopping them is people stop using their platform. They should at least be honest about it. Right? I mean, doing it secretly is an issue. But the problem is, what do you switch off? Well, I believe they should start with no political advertising. They should start with no news. There should be no news outlets, and politicians and stuff like that should not be allowed to post anything on the platform. I believe there should be nothing commercial on the platform at all. I'm not talking about commercial as in companies trying to sell products. I'm talking about anything that influences people shouldn't be on the platform. But if they want it to be on the platform, they have a responsibility to do it properly. I don't know. But then BBC News should be moved to Facebook. What do you mean? But you can't say that about people who believe it deserve what they get, because the people that are manipulating the news on Facebook are doing a really damn good job. And it's extremely hard to know the truth from lie. That's the whole problem with fake news. The issue with fake news is no one can work out if it's real or not. That's the whole dilemma with fake news. It's not that people are stupid. It's that they're doing such a great job of making everything look so real and believable that no one knows the truth anymore. And okay, it's one thing for a news outlet to be biased, but a lot of them that are biased admit that they're biased, or it's very clear that they're biased. I'm not talking about bias, I'm talking about fake. I'm talking about telling lies in such a convincing way that you don't know if it's truth or not anymore. Fake news has been around forever. Right, but with Facebook, Yaz, fake news is instantly available and delivered directly to your door. Facebook gives these people the ability, the mechanism, like before, pre-internet, when you just had TV and radio, and forget about a newspaper. But I'm talking about instant. Let's talk about TV, right? Very hard to do fake news on TV. Very hard, and I'll tell you why. Because if you missed the segment on TV, you missed it. If I didn't see the fake news spot on TV at 7 o'clock last night, if I didn't see it, I didn't get it. Therefore, I never saw the fake news and I know nothing about it. But with Facebook, with social media specifically, but with Facebook, it's in my face 24/7. They can give me the fake news all the time, every second of every day, and they know that I'm going to see it. Facebook and social media gives the mechanism to ensure that the largest possible number of people get to see the fake news all the time. That's the problem. So it doesn't matter that it's been there forever. We now have new facilities to make sure that we shove it in people's faces non-stop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's the problem. And the platforms either need to choose to police it, or they need to put their hand up and say, we're not going to police it. And then people need to decide if they're going to stay or go. And that's ultimately the people have to decide. Just like when they vote politicians in and out. I mean, the people should decide what they believe and what they're willing to put up with. Right, it's very hard to identify, so therefore shut down all the news. Amos? Like, how's it going to hurt Facebook? Shut down all the news. No news. Therefore, you don't have to worry about fake news. Shut it down. If you can't solve it, don't have any of it. Like, it should be that simple. It really should be, and it should have been done years ago. That's my belief. Like, I know I'm being very black and white on it, very black and white. But I honestly believe that it's that simple. it is not something that Facebook can fix. Okay? It's like copy protection. The only solution is stop all posting. Yeah. If that's what it takes. I don't know. Something's got to happen. It's going to take a big move. It's not going to be incrementally fixed. It's going to take a big move. So yeah, it's just like copy protection. No one cares about copy protection anymore, like in software, because it got to the point where the harder you tried to protect your software, the quicker people cracked it. Like the harder you tried to prevent people from cracking it, the more motivated people were to find ways around the copy protection and crack it. And so the more ways I think Facebook try to find ways of fixing, like through algorithms or whatever else, and even people sitting there checking this stuff, the more creative these people are going to become in getting past your barriers. It's as simple as that. As a species, that's what we do. We find the more we get told no, we can't do something, the more motivated we are to find a way to do it. We learn to do that, kids. We push the boundaries as kids, and as adults, we just get more tools to do the same thing, right? And this is not a social media thing. This is something that we've learned forever as human beings. That's how we survive. So you're not going to be able to fix it. So what it does, right, in terms of Facebook, it's a medium to stay in touch with people, share lives with people. Right, and that's what it was, and that's what it should have stayed. Yes, and that changed when the pressure was on Facebook to start generating more money, and so ads started coming in and all the other stuff, and then like the floodgates kind of opened. I feel like right, that's right. That Facebook are going to have to risk shutting down making money to fix this, I think. Well, Amos, yeah. If you can't block news outlets, like I know you can't. I know policing individual people is one thing, but you're allowing news companies and news outlets and political campaigns to create accounts and advertise and have pages and stuff. Like, get rid of all of that. Start with all of that. Okay, individual people. You know what? I don't care if Joe Blow posts his political fake news perspective on what happens over whatever. If I'm not his friend, if I don't know who he is, I don't see it in his feed. He can only reach people that he's friends with, right? But why am I getting advertised and political and commercial and news in my feed from companies I don't follow? From people I don't follow? If I'm not friends with them, it shouldn't be in my feed. If it's the people doing fake news and I'm not friends with them, I don't see it. It doesn't affect me. You limit their reach. It's just like back to the TV. If I'm not watching the TV channel at the time, I don't get to see the news. It doesn't affect me. The ability, you're constricting people's ability to spread their news. Okay? Put it back to that. That's fine. But I'm getting dumped with stuff inside my Facebook feed that has nothing to do with people I follow. I didn't subscribe to it. I didn't allow it. I didn't like their pages. I didn't do anything about it, and I'm being bombarded with it. It's as simple as that. Turn that off. Turn it off, Amos. It never should have been there to start with. Turn it off. It's as simple as that. Someone at Facebook needs the balls to just turn that off. And then start dealing with how you can tweak your algorithm to start encouraging people to stop individually spreading stuff. I shouldn't have to use an ad blocker. That's the point, though. The fact that people at Facebook aren't prepared to turn that off is the issue. That is the group of people that are doing the risk assessment and the cost analysis assessment. It's as simple as that. If they're not prepared to turn that off, they're not prepared to fix the problem. That's my belief. They might be prepared to throw money and resources at how they can improve things, but that's not the same as fixing it. You want to fix it, turn that off. It adds nothing to the platform. Apart from money to Facebook, it adds nothing to the platform. There is nothing about my experience on Facebook that is improved by being bombarded with sponsored advertising and news and political messages. Nothing in my life is improved by that. So therefore, why is it there? I didn't ask for it. I didn't opt into it. And I get no benefit out of it in my life. Right, I get non-stop JLC PCB ads. I never asked for it. I don't even like their page. Why am I getting bombarded with it? It's as simple as that. It shouldn't be there. And it's the same with Google. Okay, when I go into do a Google search, I get bombarded with a whole bunch of stuff and ads. I'm not even talking about the sponsored search results. I'm talking about all the ads on the right-hand side. I'm talking about everywhere I surf on the internet, I'm being bombarded with targeted Google ads on web pages everywhere. Like, it's enough already. Like, and political ads. And why am I seeing US-based political ads in pages that I visit? It's as simple as that. Like, these companies are not they're not taking a stance to fix these things. Anyway, if it wasn't for sponsored posts, I would not be half as entertained though. Sure. Well, you just have to find another place to entertain yourself, Yaz. I don't know. I'm sorry I've come across so passionate about this. Like, it's just, I feel like, yeah. I'm quite good at potentially oversimplifying things in my head and turning things into black and white. And I admit it. I enjoy doing things like that, and I don't try to disregard all the things. I don't dismiss things to get there. I just feel like how do I put it? And it's not just these big companies. Like, I feel like there's a level of dismissiveness with all corporates now that everyone is doing risk and cost analysis. Banks do it, right? Like when it comes to home loans and loan and mortgages and like their policies on getting people to sign up for credit cards and stuff. Like, I feel like there's just this level of disregard for what is good for human beings. No, it didn't set me off at all. No. I'm not angry or anything else. Like, I'm passionate. Like, this is me being passionate. Right? This is not being angry or pissed off or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's just this level, there's this corporate level now of greed. It's always been there. It's always been there. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, like people at banks, I'm not talking about the tellers. I don't know what it's like overseas, but like in Australia. So people who do consulting at banks, like when you go in to speak to someone about home loans or whatever else, like they have a requirement to sign people up. Like when you go in for a home loan, and they will try to sell you a credit card, or they'll give you a credit card. Like, you know what I mean? They'll encourage you to go into debt. Banks make money by people going into debt. When you pay off your credit card every month, right, and don't pay interest, banks make no money. They want you to spend money you don't have on things that you don't need, because they make their money off you not being able to pay off your credit card. It's as simple as that. That is the economics of a bank. They make their money by earning interest off the money they're holding for you, and by earning interest off the money that you can't afford to give back. And the fact that they actively encourage their staff to sign people up for things they can't afford, it's just reprehensible. Like, it's just... Anyway, I have a company implant. There's no escaping. Really? Where do they implant it? In your arm? In your head? In your buttocks? Yeah, I'm happy to have a chat with you next time you're back in Oz. Amos, that'd be great. Catch up for a coffee or a beer. Maybe a coffee. I'm not really a beer drinker. Anyway, I just... Yeah. Like, we're just all so... Like, I don't know. I'm constantly disappointed by humanity. Like, I am. I say it all the time. Like people just really disappoint me. Like, I disappoint myself too, but just in general, people just... The level of... That people just disregard other people. And I'm generalizing, obviously. I just feel like... I don't know. I'll take you to the Melbourne Facebook office. Is there a Melbourne Facebook office? Really? I didn't know there was a Melbourne Facebook office. Maybe I'll go work at Melbourne Facebook and I'll change the company from the inside out. Yeah, the banks, I mean, look, everyone does that though, Pratchik. That's the thing. Like, all companies do it. I just feel like there's such a... Yeah. Evidently there is. Advertising sales, mostly. Yeah. Okay, you lost me there. It's bad enough, the whole thought of working for a Facebook, but working for advertising for Facebook? Yeah, that's never going to happen. Working on platforms that help advertising on Facebook? No. That's not going to happen either. So, I'll definitely go there for a coffee. If there is one, sure. I'm not being harsh on Amos. I'm not blaming Amos at all for this. Nothing to do with him. I think it's great he got a job at Facebook. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of fantastic, talented people at Facebook. Like, that's the problem. All of these companies are filled with really smart, caring, active people who want to potentially change the world, right? And I said before, like Google, like, as much as Google overall is an evil company, I think some of the upper level decisions they make, they have got thousands of people who do amazing stuff in medical and like things that really help humanity. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, when I am pissed with Facebook, I'm not pissed with all the people at Facebook. I keep saying it. I'm pissed with the people, with whoever that team of people are that are sitting there with their spreadsheet trying to work out how they can avoid doing what they need to do. How can they avoid making the decisions that they really should make, and trying to work out what's going to cost them less money in the long run. That's what I'm pissed off with about. Okay, I'm not pissed off with the people who work at banks. I'm not even pissed off with the person at the bank that tries to sell me a credit card that I don't need. Because that's his job. That's what he's being told to do. And he wants to keep his job. He wants to earn his money. I don't believe for a second he or she gets off on signing people up to generate debt for themselves. I'm pissed with the person that makes them do it. I'm pissed with the people that decide that they're going to make their staff do that. That they think that that's okay. That they can leverage that paycheck for their staff that need their money to make them do things that they wouldn't normally want to do by themselves. You know, I don't believe that there are people I'm sure there might be a couple of people at Facebook, but I don't believe that there are actively people at Facebook that get off on the drama and the shit that happens in people's feeds, and the level of, I don't know. Like, there are definitely people out there that exploit. Exactly right, Dren. There are absolutely people out there that take advantage and exploit. Like, we've always had them through the history of society, of human beings, right? Since the first ones were here. But I feel that the number of those are small. Sanders now believing in himself. No. No. I believe the number of those are small comparatively to the whole world. But I believe a large number of those people, of that small percentage, are in such positions of influence that I can allow stuff like what happens at Facebook and Google to happen. And that they're okay with it. You know? Yeah. I am the one. Am I Neo? I'm not Neo. Wow. OBS is doing a good job today, isn't it? It must be this new version I started using last week. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry that I've taken the conversation here. First stream of 2020, and look what I've done with it. Crazy. I'm going to get so many downvotes on this. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'm starting to believe. I'm not Neo, folks. I'm really not. This is not the Matrix. This is real life. This is a great stream, is it? Really? Thanks, Pratik. Happy New Year to you, too. By the way, Happy New Year to all the people that it ticked over while I was ranting just then. What's next? Flat Earth? Oh, I'm not going to chase the Flat Earthers. I can't believe there are still Flat Earthers out there. And there are, apparently. But I am the Highlander. Yes. There can be only one. We got to clear the slate and get it off your chest to start anew. It's never going to be off my chest, but thank you. Thanks for being such great listeners. In case you didn't already know, and Yaz will jump in on this one, in case you didn't already know, I'm quite opinionated. I'm a very opinionated person. So, there you go. Do not start with anti-vaxxers. Oh, no. UFOs and aliens. I'd like to believe that there are UFOs and aliens. I'd like to believe that we're not the only intelligent life. Hey, Craig! Happy New Year to you too, mate. Thanks for joining. Oh, an Exodel. Hello. 2 more minutes. Happy New Year to you for 2 minutes. How exciting. Yes, I am overly passionate and overly opinionated to the point of self-destruction. But I stand by it. I stand by my opinions, right or wrong. Good or bad. What about my views on circumcision? I don't think we want to even start that topic. As much as I don't want to go to the anti-vaxxers, we'll not even go to circumcision. Thanks. Personally, I like to believe that we are not the only things in the universe has to offer. Yeah, I agree. I think that I would hope that there's aliens, whatever we want to call them, civilizations out there. I know it was a joke, Yaz. I know. Out there that are, either less advanced or more advanced than us, but different. Maybe not as. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with where we're at. I'm just like, of all the things that we've invented over the last short period of time, I'm really disappointed with what most of us have done with it. Craig, you joined the stream at a point where I've stopped building electronics and I've started ranting about big corporates and stuff. I want more intelligence, Yaz. We have intelligence. We're just doing really stupid things with it, with most of it. there's a small group of people that are doing amazing things with it, and the rest of us are just doing shit with it. Thanks, Live Art Rainbow. Catch you later. Thanks for joining. Have a happy new year. And good luck with your light art projects. They're awesome. They're pretty cool. Hope you get some more subs from the shout out. We have a lot of intelligence, just zero common sense. Yeah, we're definitely lacking in common sense, and we're lacking in, not all of us, a lot of us, I'm generalizing, are lacking in apathy for other people. Look, I know that when, like, a lot of us are doing it hard. I know that when you're doing it hard, it's very hard to think about other people at the same time. But not thinking about other people's plights when you're focused on your own is not the same as taking advantage of other people's plights. Right? There's one thing to not think about someone else, but it's another thing to take advantage of that person. Hey, Jim F. Happy New Year in Calgary. That's, yeah, I feel like there's the level of taking advantage. I believe that changes are coming. I think they're happening too slow. You know, as a society, when we as a society actively ridicule and belittle people like Elon Musk, I think that's the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like the tall poppy syndrome, the level of cynicism we have. I'm not talking about Elon wanting to get to Mars. I'm not talking about that. You know, I'm talking about AMA. What are my plans? Well, a bit late to do an AMA now. And you know I don't have plans for 2020, Yuz. You of all people know that I have no plans, and that's the problem. I feel like as a society, when we shoot down people that are trying to make a difference, whether their ideas are good or bad, or whether you agree with their ideas or not, the fact that for those that want to get shot down, I will wait for your new stream soon. Well, I do it every week. Every Wednesday at this time, I do a live stream. So you don't have to wait a week. I feel like when we're too eager to shut people down. Sorry, I got people pinging me in Slack right now, asking me if I'm okay because of the fires. I'm just going to pause that notification. It's just sad. My plan is to find a plan. I've been looking for a plan for 2020 for many months. I don't have plans yet. My plan is to every day go forward, step at a time. Fail to plan is a plan to fail. Wow. How many books have you read in Embedded Hobbyist? How many motivation books? It's easy to shoot down other people. It's because of our insecurities and shortfallings. Sure. You found your vocation. You can feed your family, just do a vlog on YouTube, being passionate and gets lots of followers and ad revenue. Paul, I don't think that would work very well on YouTube. I think I would get more hate than anything, because that's what the platform does. And I think that I would find it quite demoralizing. I think, I don't know. Being opinionated is not always good. So I've learned. Having I don't know. I'm not sure the YouTube needs another ranting channel. There's already some really good ones out there, I think, and I try to stay away from them because they're toxic. I don't need toxic in my life more than I've got. My plan is for a community to discuss creating a plan for making a plan of what to do in my future. Oh boy. Put me on that list, Adam. Make more stuff. Yes. The problem is, how do I make more stuff? How do I turn making more stuff into paying my mortgage and feeding my family? That's the problem, Amos. That's what I'm trying to solve right now. Yes. And I know that's my problem, not your problem. Like, I'm not asking anyone here to solve that for me. That's my problem to solve. I just don't know how to do that. Wow. Have I ranted enough? Rant about Facebook on YouTube and vice versa. It's amazing. I find it amazing how many people still get to rant on YouTube about YouTube, and YouTube don't shut them down. I'm quite surprised, actually. Sean is Maker's vacation course. $2,000, you can learn how to build a simple and make your own PCB. Flight included. What? I'm lost. A vacation course. What? People are going to pay me $2,500 to come here and learn how to... What? How to build a PCB. Flights included. I'm not... Or pay for me to go... I'm confused. Charles? I don't know. Like, travelling sounds good. I like travelling. I'm going to make my plans to soon as soon as I finish this second bottle of wine. Oh, thanks for sharing, Mike. What's New Year's Eve all about? Ranting? Or making plans? New Year's Eve is the worst time to make plans and make resolutions, as we discussed earlier. But the problem is, will you remember them, Mike? You'll probably make great plans on your second bottle of wine because all your barriers and inhibitions will be down. But will you remember them? You need to video yourself. There you go. Is anyone interested in me doing an AMA? I saw a door. Maybe not. I'm happy to do an AMA. I mean, this is kind of what all my streams are anyway. Is anyone interested in me doing an AMA? And maybe in my next stream or in a couple of streams doing it? And yeah, I'll do an AMA, maybe. We can take a vote. Take a poll. But it's 10 o'clock. I'll put it up on TikTok. No thanks. That's really funny. That's very funny. Okay, I'm going to wind this stream down. I think it's amazing that so many of you are here, especially on New Year's Eve. For those of you that still have... You guys still have 7 hours. Where are you, James? Oh, you're in the US. You must be on the far side of the US. Wow, that's crazy. If you want to make resolutions, one, start small. Be specific. Don't be like, I want to lose weight. How much weight? Texas. Howdy. Howdy, partner. Wow, that was shocking. That was really bad. If I could rewind that, I'd take that away. Hey, Ben. Good morning. Happy New Year. Wow. Azzy, forget about it. No one... Don't encourage people to do New Year's resolutions. 9 hours for you guys. Wow. It sucks living in the past. Thanks, Mike. Happy New Year to you too, mate. Do you notice Sion is an anagram of Neos? Wow. It actually is. Noes. Not quite. Isn't it anagram reverse? 50. I look 30. Thanks, Craig. I might look... but I'm 50 this year. Yes! I'm turning 50. I've got greys, finally. Can everyone see my greys? Starting to get greys. So excited when I got greys. Anyway. Okay, I'm stream. Thank you all. Go have a awesome 2020. If it's already 2020, and if it's not, go celebrate with your friends and family. Or actually with your friends. No one likes hanging out with their family. Let's not do that. Yes, I am 50. 50. Can't you see? Look. Look at the double chin. Can't get rid of it. Yep, I'm a youngster. Hey, Stephen. Were you in the chat before? Hi. If I didn't say hi already. Now I'm saying bye. I looks 80. Thanks. Thanks, Yaz. I love you too. Okay. Thank you all. Amazing first stream for the year. Much more exciting than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be all on my own. Happy New Year. I will catch you all next week. Yeah, join the Discord if you haven't already. That'd be cool. And yeah, catch you. Hey, dogs. Happy New Year. I feel like people are joining now, just as I'm winding down. Stirring the pot. You just turned 49. You always forget your age. I know. I'm turning 50 this year, I said. This year, I'm turning 50. I know it's a whole year away. But still this year. Link to Discord. I posted the link before. It's in there. I'll put it in the description as well. Oh, fine. I'll post it again now. I'll make another one. It'll be a different invite, though, because it's a different one every time. Whatever. Here it is again. Here's my Discord. Oh, Yaz, if you join the Discord, don't be cheeky. Oh, we had a few people chat. More people joined. Awesome. Okay. Goodbye. I'm going before OBS dies. I'll see some of you next year. Okay, I gotta stop talking. I gotta end this stream. Except the button's gone again. Typical. Okay, no, yes, there it is. Bye everyone. Catch you later. Happy New Year! Yay!